Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Pep here, and I'm here in the great outdoors today with a really quick update for you guys on all things Burns Down, including Fallen Idol and where that's at. So I just want to give a few updates where we're at. Nothing too egregious, just a few shallow dives because there's a bunch of things I want to talk about and give little details on. And as things get closer, I'll do individual updates on those. So the very first thing I wanted to bring up, and I know it's a long shot, and I hate even asking, but there is a fundraiser going right now. On the Burns Down Facebook page, or you can go to my normal page. You'll see a GoFundMe there. It's not for very much. It's for like $150. Right now I got $25 raised. What that's for is, in the middle of getting this album done, production does cost money, not just studio time, but for distribution. Your distributor is going to take some money to initially upload the songs. There's licensing, there's all that. So that money, I hate asking people for, but any way anyone can help out with that, I'd be so grateful for. And I don't like taking money from people for any reason, but this isn't going towards me. It's not going in my pocket. This is just going to help get the album out in a substantial way that's going to help take the cost down. Now, if you do donate, there are some perks, mostly going to be related to the album itself, or maybe some merch involved, depending on what you donate, but that'll be more specific based on the donation. So if you can, please feel free to go over to the Facebook page, check out the GoFundMe, and any little bit you can help to, eliminate some of that cost would just do me a huge favor. I'm working my butt off right now, full, lots of overtime, a normal job, and got a second job, and just there's a lot there going on. So any little bit to help take some of that off would be the world to me. So that's the big thing. But in the middle of that, so right now I know I haven't been getting much update on a release time. That's because as we go along, different things pop up. It's summer, so there's festivals, we have gigs going up, so things get pushed back a little more because studio time becomes harder to come by. Summertime's busy. That being said, we're pretty far in, and I don't anticipate, unless something catastrophic happens, I would anticipate a release fairly soon. And I don't want to give an exact date per se, because every time I do that, it's like a jinx, something else happens. But if I were to put a date in the books right now that I feel safe at, and I would come damn near close to saying this is what I expect, is I'm looking at August 3rd right now for the release of Fallen Idol. Now, I know I'd said mid-July before, but the reason I'm saying August 3rd is because August gives us that little buffer to make sure that what we're putting out is right. Plus, it's, August 3rd is also my half birthday. It's exactly 6 months from my normal birthday, so there's that as well. It's just kind of those dates I can plug something and have some meaning behind it, but also just something that's easy to remember. So right now, the hope and plan is to have Fallen Idol out by August 3rd. That will be on Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music, or iTunes, whichever those it goes toward, YouTube Music should have it, I believe. Everything but Amazon Music, pretty much. And that's just because I absolutely adore Amazon with all my heart and soul. So if you're using Amazon, I'm sorry, guys. Use Spotify, Pandora, or you just get a CD from me. Speaking of the CD, really fast, if you do pick up a print, I know everything's the digital age, and I have a few prints I am making this time around, though. And the reason for that is, CDs are good for just handing out to people. They're kind of like business cards for musicians. But on top of that, if you get the CD, you'll get a bonus track, possibly two. And there's also like an introduction track and a little interlude track also that you will not be able to find online. So some perks for getting the print are you're going to have a few more little treats in there for you, all right? So that's the first thing. Second thing, the thing that's been difficult is what between here and release, what is there to really put out there for updates? Because it's kind of the same copy and paste. It's hard to make content and keep consistent content. So here's a few things I'm going to be doing in the next few weeks, just a little shallow diving in. First one I'm going to do is I'm going to start uploading some of the former songs. A lot of people don't know that this is my third full-length record. I have 2 full-length records already because they're really nowhere to be found. There's some songs out there. So if you go to YouTube, a lot of them are up there. So I'm going to be spending the next couple weeks making either really simple lyric videos or even just simple uploads, and try to get the last 2 albums, Billfold Syndrome from 2015 and Novocaine Mutiny from 2020, uploaded to YouTube. Whether that will be a lyric video, like I said, or just a track of it, I'm going to be trying to get those uploaded to YouTube. And then when it comes to release all the albums, Fallen Idol on all the other streaming platforms, I'm also going to be uploading and releasing those other 2 along with it. So all the Burns Down catalog should be available on August 3rd as well. But until then, I am going to go onto YouTube and at least get those uploaded. Get Billfold Syndrome and Novocaine Mutiny uploaded to there, one way or the other. That way they're out there, and you guys can listen to some other Burns Down records to get you in the mood, but also kind of see, hey, from 2015 to 2020, we grew this much. Now 2020 to 23, here's how much more we grew. You can see the progress, and that'd be really cool. Second thing I'm going to do with that, kind of partnering with that as I go along, is, you know, I pour my heart and soul into not just making the music, but the lyrics, putting these songs together, making sure that what they're saying is what I want to be said the best way it can be said, and also presented in a great connotation to what's being said. So I'm going to be doing a couple of videos kind of like this. They're just going to be called simply Behind a Song, and going through the Billfold Syndrome catalog, the Novocaine Mutiny catalog, and then when Fallen Idol's released, I'll probably spend a couple weeks after that dropping like the lyric videos and the songs, but then also with that doing a tie-in of, hey, here's what this song was written for, here's the perspective I wrote it from, but also then open a door for discussion like, hey, this is what I wrote for, but maybe what did you take from it? Because that's the beauty of art, is even though it comes from my head and here's my slant on it, it's a spectrum that we can all withdraw from. So that's the second thing. Third thing is, I do have a few shows coming up, at least one that I know of that's coming up next weekend. I will be performing at Ogle County Brewery doing a live acoustic show. Normally my shows go about 3 hours. Now my acoustic shows are separate from Burdens Down, because those are just doing 90s and early 2000s covers, you know. One thing about the area, and I don't mean this in a demeaning way, but one thing that kind of bothers me around this area, if you go to any performances by local bands, it's like this bands are doing the same thing. Country, same classic rock songs, just every band's covering the same exact thing. And it's like, well, what about people like me who don't like country, that are in their late 20s, early 30s, that want to see shows that are original music, shows that are a little bit more sing-alongable, that aren't just the same. So that's what I try to do. I try to do things that I grew up with that are catchy. And the thing about the 90s is there's so many songs and so many artists out there that, you know, you could probably think of so many 90s songs that you know the song, but you don't know the artist. Because that's kind of the definition of the 90s, is these one-hit wonders were everywhere. But I am playing next week at Old County Brewery. Go check out their page as well as mine. I think I'm supposed to start at 6:30, and that show should be about 3 hours long is what I'm anticipating. But sometimes they go over that. It's going to be a good time no matter what. Come on out and to support, all right? It'll be great to have you out. I'm also working on booking some other shows, I'm talking to Rooney's in Franklin Grove. I have 2 places in Freeport I've made contact with, and we're starting to kick the can around. Right now, because of getting the album done, I'm trying to limit myself to 1 show a month right now if I can, just because I have to focus on parenting. I got work going on, I got relationships and friendships going on, and trying to get this album done. So I don't want to put too much in there that takes away from that time. That being said, the last thing I want to touch on really fast is, while I'm wrapping up my Burdens Down project this time around, I've started working with my buddy Adrian Frazier. He is a kind of one-man band himself that's called Black Cherry Rose. So Black Cherry Rose is Adrian's Burdens Down, essentially. And I've been working with him a couple times in the past. I've done 3 songs before, and I just recorded another drum track. This will be the 4th song I've done with him this last week or two. And I sat down with him and kind of talked about, hey, you know, you got some good stuff going on here. I like the direction of your album, of the music you're making. So him and I are going to sit down and maybe put together 2 or 3 more songs on top of that. And I'd love to help him. And that's not for me to get my face in that project. It's because I have extra songs I'm not using. And on top of that, that's what we do as musicians. We help each other out. We're a community. So also keep an eye out for my buddy Adrian Frazier and his Black Cherry Rose project. If you want to listen to some of those songs, you can go on YouTube. Check out the song Piece by Piece. It's a song I featured on along with Mark Frazier, his dad, and it was a really, really, really unique and cool song. I think you guys would dig it, especially you kind of, if you're into emo, you're into the kind of new rock, new metal scene. You guys would really dig that song. It's got some good vibes to it. Other than that, that's all I got going on. Thank you guys for checking in. I know there's a lot of information, but just a quick recap. August 3rd is the expected drop date of Fallen Idol. Unless something goes wrong, I really, really believe that's where I end up. And I am going to work my butt off to make sure that happens as well. Like, I'm not going to fall back. By setting a date gives me kind of something to push towards, you know what I mean? So, August 3rd. Keep an eye out, because I'm going to be putting up more of the lyric videos. I'm going to be putting up more Burdens Down catalogs into YouTube, so keep an eye out for posts on the Burdens Down Facebook page as I post the remainder of songs from Billfold Syndrome. I post the remainder of songs from Novocaine Mutiny, and then as we get closer to Fallen Idol, you'll also start seeing some behind the song videos starting to go up about what each song was about, and maybe help you discover songs you didn't know that were out there. Again, because a lot of people don't even know I got 2 albums worth of songs already out there, and they're waiting for this one to come out. So you can kind of see where we've been and now where we're going and where we've come from. It's a really cool idea, I think. And last but not least, is playing a show next weekend at Old County Brewery next Saturday night, the 24th. So come say hi. Love to see you. Thank you guys for checking in. Hope you have a great day. Take care.